I'm one of the recovery coaches here.
All right, my name Mike. I'm one of your recovery coaches. I'm trying to tune in so we get y'all live and direct.
Why not?
See what we got here.
This what we do.
Oh, we ready, man. How y'all doing today out there? If y'all got any questions today, we taking questions on the screen. We're going to answer all your questions. If you have anything dealing in the recovery field, services that we may provide, give us your questions and we'll pull it up on the screen for you and discuss it with you. All right. Let's see. What else we got? We got any more announcements today about the walk?
Tomorrow, Friday, we have our first recovery walk. We're going to meet at the Salvation Army at 11.
11 o'clock. Come on out.
Be there or be square.
Be there, be square. Downtown, Bridgeton, Salvation Army, we're going to start off and go for a recovery walk.
We're going to walk around the zoo, the nice wooded area, and talk about recovery and life.
Exercise.
Oh, man. Beautiful.
Need that exercise. We be trying to get in shape, man. You know, because my man here, he's real strict with his diet. He take pictures of his diet food.
Well, especially with COVID. No, I don't do that no more. That's over.
Oh, that's over. Okay, well, I'm just saying, the last month or two or whatever. He's real strict. It's discipline, called discipline.
Oh,
That's one of the boundaries we have to build in the recovery. So what we got today on the menu? We going over a paper we have downloaded from addictionsandrecovery.org website. They have a host of recovery resources on there that's free. I suggest you go to addictionsandrecovery.org website. They got a lot of stuff on there and it's free. And you can use it for groups or you can use it for your own personal development to help you in your process. And today we're going to talk about what addiction self-help groups do not do, finding the right group, and how to get the most out of your group. Those three things we will be discussing. What addiction self-help groups do not do, finding the right group for yourself, and how to get the most out of your group.
Who would like to start off? I mean, I'll read the first one and someone read the next one.
Let's do it.
Right. Once again, the name of this topic is what addiction self-help groups do not do. They do not define you as weak or powerless. Instead, they encourage you to take control of your life by recognizing your addiction and overcoming it. They are not based on shame and labeling yourself in a negative way. Instead, they encourage you to take responsibility for your life and to realize that you can stop your addiction. Addiction self-help groups encourage you to recognize that an addiction is a medical disease and that you are powerless to change your genetic makeup and the way that you respond to alcohol. But they also encourage you to realize that you have the power to change other parts of your life so that you don't relapse in the future.
Nice.
All right.
I like what it says they are not based on shame and labeling yourself in a negative way. So addiction self-help groups is not created or have not been formed or came about because it wants to label you or make you look at yourself in a negative way. Instead, they encourage you to take responsibility for your life. That's a key word. That's my motivational word for the day. Take responsibility for your life. That's one of the things that self-help groups were created to do.
It's basically designed to help lift one another up. Where you may be falling, wherever you may have a slip or full-blown relapse, we are here at Capital Recovery Center to pick you up, let you know that, hey, you're not alone in the process, all right?
And also, Mr. Dangle has said, he read, but they also encourage you to realize that you have the power to change other parts of your life. So when we're talking about addiction recovery or peer recovery services, we always talk about Mr. Dingle's favorite word, the holistic part. The holistic part. I might not say it right.
The mind, body,
spirit,
and soul.
So listen, where you can change, you have the power to change other parts about your life, not just the substance part, but there's other aspects of your life that will factor into your recovery process. I mean, it's a list of things, but you got to find out what's the most important part that you should change.
Mm-hmm. And the last part of that article, it says, addiction self-help groups encourage you to take a look at your life and see how you got into trouble in the past so that you don't fall into the same traps in the future. They encourage you to ask for help, whereas your addiction encourages you to avoid help.
Oh, addiction. See here, it says it'll help you ask for help. Your addiction will encourage you to avoid help. Your addiction will make you call for your friends. Hey, P, listen.
That's right.
This is what we're going to do. See, but we, the recovery coach, say, listen, we need you to get on this ride. Let's do this. You know what I mean? But you got to understand that we encourage you, or individuals will encourage you, and we have to understand that the addiction will try to keep us out of trying to get help for ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And so one of the things I like about this article is it talks about we like to help you look at your life and see how you got into trouble in the past. And I always like to share my story in groups or in this type of setting as well to let people know, hey, listen, I took that wrong road down the wrong path, and that you don't have to do the same thing as I did.
That's right.
There's help out there. I mean, when I was going through my addiction stage, there wasn't much help. I remember when I was living in Newark and I was trying to get some help, and we didn't have no insurance. You know, I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth and all that good stuff, and so I wasn't able to pay for. Matter of fact, it was the Integrity House, right down the street on Lincoln Park. Everybody, whoever from Newark, if you're ever watching,
Lincoln Park,
Integrity House. That's an old school place, but anyway, there is Medicaid assistance, there is insurance, and there is a lot of groups such as these that assist people getting them into detox and residential treatment. I just shared that so that don't feel that you out there you can't get no help. We out here to help you.
There's a lot of different places that, and those self-help groups are there to help encourage you and help build you up. They're not there to label you and tear you down. So don't think that addiction self-help groups are, if you need to go to some type of groups, don't think that the individual groups are there to like tear you apart. The groups are created to help build you up. This is an all recovery meeting at Capital Recovery Center, and we're not here to label you or tear you down. We are here to try to pour something into you as recovery coaches, and we use whatever strategy we have at our disposal to try to help encourage you. So remember, addiction self-help groups are not about tearing you down, because if you're honest, our conscious mind already tears us down when we're living in a lifestyle of substance use anyway. All right, let's go. Finding the right group. You want me to go? Finding the right group. Every group is different. This is very important. Every group is different. Like, you're going to come across a lot of online groups out there. None of them are like the groups that we do at Capital Recovery Center.
One of a kind.
One of a kind. Listen, every group is different. Some groups you'll like, but some groups you won't. Now, you got to understand that. This is because you go to a certain group online or go to it in person. Some of them you will like, and some of them you won't like. That doesn't mean that the group is not effective at all. It means it might not be effective for you. It might not be the one that you should go to. They each have their own personalities and their own mix of people. Finding the right group is important, because when you do find the right group, recovery becomes a lot easier. You have to find the right group. I was talking to someone actually a recovery call, and I was trying to get him to attend the recovery meetings on Thursdays and the one we do on Tuesday. But he made the statement to me that he came from a faith-based program, a rehabilitation center, and he says, I don't have a problem with the meetings that y'all do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. However, can you connect me to some faith-based, spiritual type recovery meetings? You see what I mean? He wasn't saying that the meetings that we are doing is not effective. He just saying that he prefer to go to a program or a meeting that's more geared towards the spirituality or the component that he came from treatment. So you got to understand your group. Some groups you're going to like, some groups you won't like. Where was that? Oh, don't keep on going to a group that you don't like. Just because it's convenient or close by. Don't just go to a group that you don't like, or don't continue to go to a group that you don't like. There are multitudes of groups that you can find. You just got to do the research. If you do that, eventually you'll convince yourself that you don't need to go to meetings. Wow. That's serious.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's true, because a lot of times you have to be in a setting where you're comfortable at. And if you're around people that you're not getting nothing out of it, and they around here joking around or playing games, and you serious about your recovery, don't go there. Find some other places.
Find another place.
But there's a lot of places, and here at Capital Recovery Center, we got a list of, I believe Karen got a whole list of them for them.
If you need a list, just contact us, leave a message in the comment section, we'll get that list to you.
That's right.
But just remember what we said. If you don't keep going to a group that you don't like because it's convenient or close by. If you do that, eventually you'll convince yourself that you don't need to go to meetings. You'll tell yourself things like this: they're real addicts. I'm not like them. The beauty of addiction self-help group is that there are so many to choose from. It's not hard to find at least one group that you can connect with. Everybody has a different pathway to recovery. Me, I started going to the NA and AA meetings often, and that's how I started my process. And then I built up my spiritual foundation. My spiritual foundation replaced my meeting going, if you will. That became my foundation, and then I built up off of there. So everybody has a different strategy that they use. You just have to find which one's best suited for you. Use it, and as long as you maintain your sobriety, we'll be okay. It says there is a simple technique for finding the right group. All meetings in your area are listed on the internet. They're also published in the booklet that you can get free at most meetings. Go to your first meeting and pick up one of those booklets. So you never have an excuse to say, especially now, it's so many groups and stuff online, you can't never say, you know what, I can't find a meeting. You can start your own meeting. Well, you can find a meeting, and you can always find a meeting. There's multiple meetings out there. Then find someone who you have something in common with. Ask them what other meetings they like. It's a common question, so don't feel embarrassed to ask it. To go to one of these meetings and to do exactly the same thing. Find somebody else and ask them what other meetings they like. Do that a few times and you will quickly zero in on meetings that work for you.
Wow. Good stuff. Good stuff. Anybody out there have any questions?
Anybody got any questions?
Comments, concerns?
Nope.
All right.
How to get the most out of your group. Become active. The magic of recovery happens when you actively participate and share at meetings. Recovery doesn't happen when you just sit passively and listen to other people. You recover when you're honest, nakedly honest, and share what's going on inside.
All right.
That's good
You
stuff.
you gotta get in the mood, or you got to get in the position of wanting to share, to help others. That's paramount, because by you sharing your stories, you'd be surprised how many people that you may help along the way, because there's somebody who's struggling with the situations if not like yours, or similar to yours. And so I always like to share. I don't
Me too.
listen. I'm gonna share. I'm gonna tell you, because I don't want people to go down the same path I experienced.
Yeah.
And so I want some help. I'm not afraid to reach out and say I need some help. There's some people that say, they're afraid to say I need help.
We're gonna give you all the help you.
Family, guess
We're gonna
what?
give you all the help you need.
I need some help.
We're gonna give you all
Family,
the
I need
help
all
you
the help
need.
you need.
You have to. The magic of recovery happens, she said, when you actively participate and share at the meetings. When you go to the meetings, you might not do it initially when you first go to a meeting. However, if you muster up the courage to participate and share your story at the meeting, you will notice that seemed like weight will come off your shoulders. Especially when you share things that was hurtful to you or others, and you might be in recovery, or you might be clean now, and you are in your right mind, and you're starting to think about all the bad things you possibly have done while you was under the influence of your substance. So you be beating yourself up. I'm telling you from personal experience. So once I started sharing about the things, and even getting to the point of having a laugh about some of the things, it lifted the weight off of my shoulders. So being active, participating, and sharing your story can often lift the weight of some of the guilt that you might be having from your substance use disorder.
And also, the one thing is so paramount also is you recover when you're honest, the article says.
Yeah.
Nakedly honest and share what's going on the inside. Don't fake it. Don't be lying. Just be straight up honest, because when you're honest, people know when you're honest.
Yeah.
People know when you're not telling the truth. And so there's a thing they call war stories. No one would like to hear a war story when they're in their recovery.
Glorifying your addiction.
Glorify your addiction. Oh man, you doing a lot of TC programs today. Come on, you talking my talk, man. Glorifying your addiction.
Let's move.
There are 2 types of addiction self-help meetings. There are open meetings, also called speaker meetings, and closed meetings, also called discussion meetings. In speaker meetings, someone stands up and tells their story of addiction and recovery. You sit back and listen, and you're not expected to say anything. The beauty of speaker meetings is that they're a non-threatening way to get started, because you don't have to do any work. The downside is that you don't get to do any work.
Wow. There are 2 types of meetings, open and closed, they call. And all of them are effective, I believe. It's just one. Some people prefer a particular type of group. And we was talking about that up there, finding the right group. If you like that type of group, then search out. You can get the pamphlet where the meetings are, and it lets you know if it's open or closed. So you just have to find that type of meeting. And that's all I think you can say about that one.
To become active, you have to gradually focus more on discussion meetings. That's where you get to talk about your recovery and what's going on inside. But don't worry, you don't have to say anything if you don't want to. You can pass. And it's normal in the beginning to go a few times and just observe the process.
Yeah, because they're calling, hey man, hey, such and such, go ahead, share that story for us. They're always going to be talk about recovery where you go inside. So sharing your story I think it's very beneficial. Even though a lot of people don't have the courage to do it, you can always, like she said, you can always go to the meeting and just take things in. And then I've learned before I was comfortable speaking in front of individuals about my own life, I learned that I can still learn from someone even if I didn't share at that meeting. I can hear them talk and I can process some stuff in my life. So you can do the same thing. What we got? You going, Craig?
All right. And the other thing says, be committed. Join a group and go to it regularly. How often should you go to meetings? Good question. There is no one answer. Everyone has different needs. Most people go to meetings at least twice a week in the beginning. Some people like to go to meetings every day to deal with their urges for using. I think going once a week is a little too thin, because you miss a meeting, then you have to wait 2 weeks between meetings. which in the beginning is too long to deal with your urges on your own.
Yeah, that's true.
All right?
I think, in the early stages of your recovery, I would say make as many as possible.
Okay.
I would think just one a week is not.
Yeah, especially first start now.
Yeah, because you got to pick up what I like to call momentum. You have to pick up some recovery momentum, and the only way you're going to do that is by attending some support meetings.
And for me, when I first started recovery, I was in therapeutic community. We had group meetings. 300 all year round, 365 days.
Meet.
We had a meeting. I don't care if it was on a Sunday. You're gonna do group. And
That's
so,
right.
once I left that program, I went to assessment center, and I had another. We were doing meetings as well, 7 days. Then I went to Kentucky.
More meat.
I said, listen, you mean to tell me I got to do more meetings?
I did enough.
I came home, I had to do more meetings. So that just give you a general idea of what's important about meeting, because in the end, it paid off. I'll tell you the truth, the God honest truth, it really paid off. And
Now he's doing meetings now.
now, well,
Just get paid for these ones. But it came full circle. But he never stopped taking it. I'm 14 years or 13 years in August removed from the life I used to live, and I still attend meetings online on my own personal devotions, and I still constantly do it. So I never ever want to get to a place where I say that I arrived. If I say I arrived, I think I will plateau or mellow out or try to balance. I don't never want to get there, so I don't think you should ever have a place where you say, well, I made it, I'm done, that's
right,
it.
exactly.
Yeah,
I utilize my higher power as my foundation, as something I stand on, and so that gives me the motivation, the courage, and the will to seek help when I need help. And so reading scriptures, praying, meditating, fasting, all that stuff work, because that's holistic.
Holistic.
I'm not going to hold you too long. Let me keep reading on. All right. Go to meetings on days that you use the most. Your body has an internal clock, and if you use every Friday at 6 o'clock, then that's when you'll have the strongest urges to use.
Ooh.
And that's when it's best to be at a meeting.
That's a good one. You have particular times to do stuff, and that you did stuff, and you should go to a meeting to swap those out. Yeah, that's a pretty good strategy. Wow.
Once you've been in recovery for 5 years, your chances of relapse are greatly reduced, and you may be able to cut back on meetings. There is no one approach for everyone after 5 years. You should go to meetings at least once a month, and many people need to go more often. After 5 years, you probably won't learn many new things at meetings. The main reason to continue to go is to remind yourself of where you've been and how quickly you can get back there if you start using again. You also go to meetings to help others and to give back.
All the time is about helping other people. And don't fall for the thing to think, or don't tell yourself if you miss these meetings, then you already know you're going to relapse. Because sometimes you can get so locked in on attending the meetings that if you miss it, you feel like you're already going backward. Let's see. Use the help that other people offer you. Addiction self-help groups are a generous and giving environment. People will offer to help you in many ways. They'll offer to meet you for coffee, talk about your problems, or give you their phone number in case you want to talk any time of day or night. They've been through it before, and they know that recovery is hard work. In the beginning, you may be overwhelmed by their generosity, but it is sincere. Some people, we have the heart to want to try to help you no matter what phase you are in, but don't think somebody always got something
Ulterior motive.
Yeah, I didn't get that at GED school. But that word right there, don't think that somebody has a motive and they're trying to help you for something.
Yeah.
People are genuinely sincere about helping you with your recovery. And also, it says your tendency will be to not accept their help. You'll think that you don't want to be bothered or that your problems aren't that important, but they're offering to help you because they want to help. And because they know that by helping you, they're also helping themselves. That is one of the things that I use all the time. Me helping you, I am helping myself, because in order for me to be in a position to help you, I have to keep myself on track. So when people are helping you, trust me, they are also helping themselves.
There's a saying in therapeutic community: in order to keep your sobriety, you must give it away freely.
That's right.
Don't charge nobody. You got to
charge
go free.
All right, you want to read the final level up there, Miss Karen?
Where it says addiction?
Okay. The final level of support.
Oh. The final level of support is a sponsor. A sponsor is your own personal coach or guide to help you through recovery. Once you've been in recovery for a while and you've checked out some of the meetings, you'll want to find a regular sponsor.
You need a sponsor. You have to have somebody, a spiritual advisor, a mentor, a recovery coach. Someone has to come alongside of you and help you. I prefer you get someone who have already achieved something that you're trying to achieve. I don't have a particular goal of how many years they should have. I don't have that. But I do believe you should get someone who has already achieved what you are after.
Accountability partner.
Accountability partner.
Somebody that you can talk to and you can confide in, and that y'all can relate to one another. These things is very important because real people do real things. And what can be more realer than you and somebody talking about recovery?
Yeah.
All right?
And something like that, you always have to come up with somebody, a mentor, sponsor, spiritual advisor. I still have those people in my life today. I have a mentor in every aspect of my life. I have a spiritual mentor. I have a recovery mentor. I have a business mentor. Every area of my life, I have someone that has done exactly what I am trying to do. And that's simply what you need when you're trying to walk out your recovery in order for you to be successful and maintain that sobriety. You need somebody to come alongside of you to help you. All right. Y'all got the paper for? We don't have it? All right.
We can say it.
Go ahead.
We like to end with a positive affirmation.
Yeah.
And one of the positive affirmations I would like to say is to invest. Invest in your recovery, because what more valuable in life than you? Know that you are worthy and you have self-worth.
Mine is always remember when you are living your life to make the best decisions that you can possibly make. And the reason why I think you should always make sure you make the best decisions that you can possibly make is because, just like they say on the Zoom meetings or on the Zoom meetings, that you are being recorded. Everything in your life that you are doing, remember, make the best possible decisions because you are being recorded.
My positive affirmation is don't make excuses for yourself. Be real with yourself and with others.
With that, we see y'all on tomorrow. We going to the recovery walk.
Oh, yeah.
Recovery walk
And
tomorrow.
What time?
What time?
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
in Bristol, New Jersey.
Salvation Army. We see y'all.
All right.